All right, so there's guys out there who decide they're gonna get on self-improvement, right? So then they start meditating, right? They start going on their no fab streaks as well. They start deciding, oh, I'm gonna journal, right? And they start thinking about also picking up like fighting or a martial art, right? And these are all things they want to do. They're like, okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. It's gonna be great, right? And then tomorrow comes, and there's just this part of their brain that's drawn to their old ways, right? It's like, oh, instead of going doing that, why don't we jack off first? Why don't we go eat first, go relax first, go play some video games first, then we'll go do the productive things. And then the end of the day comes, they don't do their work, they don't get anywhere. Whereas there's other guys out there who set a goal, they chill, and they seem to hit that goal effortlessly. I'm going to talk about the difference here specifically. I'll talk about how to destroy the lizard part of your brain, right? And I'm just going to be straight up with you right now. This video is clickbait, right? Because the most important point that I hope to get across, right, is you can't really destroy that part, but you have to kind of learn to work with it. At least that's been my experience. So I'm going to share in this video how I was able to overcome this, for lack of a better term. I really hope this video will help you out. And without further ado, let's dive into it. I remember clearly I was, I just got a new phone, right? And it had a bigger screen than my old phone, right? And at that time I was on NoFap, and my brain just started to make excuses like, oh, I should fab because, oh, this phone has a bigger screen. I've never watched porn on a bigger screen, so, oh, it's gonna be great, right? So I decided to fab. I broke my streak, and then all the guilt and shame started setting in, right? And I felt like absolute garbage about myself, and the rest of the day was pretty unproductive. So what would happen before was I would have these streaks. I would break them, feel like absolute crap, and then I would wait a few days for my superpowers to come back to feel normal again, right? To feel better again. And then I would end up breaking it again, feeling guilty. And this was like this constant, horrific cycle that I was stuck in. This leads me to the first point, right? And I hinted at it at the start, but there's no part of your brain that needs to be destroyed, right? That's the first point I want to make. There's no part of your brain that needs to be destroyed. I know there's going to be these other self-improvement YouTubers out there who say, oh, these are weak men, bro. They have no self-control, bro. You got to do a 10-year dopamine detox to be successful. Like, no, take that thought, throw it way out the window. We don't listen to those people. They put a train of thought on us that doesn't serve us whatsoever. Look, the point I'm trying to make here is doing those things, right? Doing those side things, productive things, positive things like NoFap. That's cool. But the main thing that got me my results is just doing the impactful shit, right? Like I said, I've broken my NoFap streak time and time again. Sometimes I meditated, sometimes I haven't, sometimes I journal, sometimes I haven't. And while those things have brought positive things, doing those things have brought positive, kind of impact into my life, the things that drove the results, there's results that if you're on my channel, you probably want something like making more money, getting a better physique, things like this. The things that drove those results weren't like my nofap streaks or anything like that. It was doing the damn work day in, day out, right? That's what was it. Because when I started self-improvement, I started with literally only doing nofap, and that literally brought me nothing. Like, yeah, I felt a little bit better, and that was it, right? And then even though I was breaking my streak time and time and time again, when I started doing my work on the gym, when I started doing my work on the coding side, that's when I actually started to get tangible results, right? So that's the main point that I'm making here. So the way to overcome this, now, one thing, like I mentioned before, to this day, I've been on self-improvement for 5+ years now. To this day, I wake up in the morning and I don't even want to look at work. I don't even want to look at work, right? This just is, it's kind of like this part of human nature where there's so much resistance to work, right? I feel like we all have it, right? So some of the tips that I use that have helped me out is, one, just getting shit done as soon as possible, right? As early in the day as possible. Just wake up, get straight to work, right? Or if you're doing a job, if you're working like a regular job and you're doing like a side hustle or whatever, as soon as you get home from work, get on your side hustle. Because once you relax and kind of ease up, like, that's it, you don't really feel like working, or at least that's my case. And another thing that's really helped me, which I've talked about loads of times on this channel, but it truly was a game changer for me, is just focusing on one thing, right? Instead of trying to do 20 different things in a day, is focusing on one thing. So say it was fitness for me, I was just like, okay, if fitness is the only thing I need to take care of, like my workout, my nutrition, even if I do nothing else productive all day, that's cool. So that way I only have one thing I need to knock down, and I can kick up my legs for the rest of the day. If I want to do more shit, I can do it, but I don't have like this pressure and guilt if I don't do the other things, right? Just focusing on one really, really high impact thing. That's helped me out a lot as well. So yeah, the first point really I'm trying to drive home here is, you can't destroy that part, at least Nothing that I found, has helped me destroy that part. You just have to learn to work with it and use these little techniques. I shared the ones I use. I'm sure you'll find yours, but use these little techniques to overcome it. And again, I feel like you don't really ever completely overcome it, right? Again, I've talked about these other self-improvement YouTubers. Trust me, it's all a front, right? It's all a front. They're not 24/7 productive. It looks like it when you're looking at their YouTube, right? Because they're trying to impose this image on us, right? But this is not the case. This is not the case, So some of the ones, I'm not going to call out anyone specifically, but you can look at their lifestyle. They party, they do all that stuff, right? That's not very dopamine detoxy, like, is it? Let's just be honest, right? So they're human just like you and I, right? And what that means is, yes, they get to work and they also have those thoughts of, oh, I should do this, I should do that, and they slip up as well. They probably slip up all the time. That's very human. That's what being a human being is, right? But they still do the work, and that's why they get the result. They don't get the results from their 2,000-day no-fap streak, right? That's one point that I'm trying to drive home here. Now, the next point that I want to drive home, I remember fairly recently, right? I had my first boxing fight, and there was a few guys who fought before me, so I was just kind of waiting for my fight to happen, right? And as I'm waiting, I'm nervous as shit. I'm pacing back and forth, and just nervous, to be honest, and scared, right? And scared before the moment finally came, and then we fought, and that was that, right? The point that I'm trying to make here is, again, with this self-improvement shit, it can feel like you need to be perfect. Oh, you got to destroy your lizard brain first, bro, and then you got to make 6 figures, bro. Then you got to be a top 1% man. Then you can go enjoy life. Like, no, take that thought, throw it way out the window. We don't listen to those people. Again, they put a train of thought on us that doesn't serve us whatsoever. Look, there's so much garbage in the self-improvement community that I really hope that we can kind of be a different voice, right? A different voice that actually speaks some common sense, if I'm just being frank and honest, right? Because a lot of this is just nonsense advice. Now, why did I give the boxing example? Well, the point I'm making is there's never going to be a point of perfection, a point when you're completely ready to start improving, right? So that's the thing. Like, day in and day out, your emotions will fluctuate. Some days you'll feel like working, some days you won't. Some days, you're going to sit around and fap all day. Some days you're going to be very productive. The main thing to focus on, at least in my experience, is consistency on the high impact shit. If you got that done, don't be tripping over, oh, do I have my no fap streak or not, and all this thing, and don't wait for the perfect time, right? Like, another piece of garbage that comes to my mind is like the black pill, right? What a load of shit that is. Putting absolute toxic mindsets on other people, right? It's like, oh, it's all about the looks, bro. Nothing else matters, bro. Like, you literally need to walk down the street to see this is not the case, right? Like, if you walk down the street, you'll see many couples, and they don't look like that. Like, these black pill weirdos. I would say, honestly, don't even go on the subs if you haven't gone on them yet, right? But if you have gone on them, you know what I'm talking about. They'll like look at a completely normal guy. It's like, oh, you need nose surgery, bro. You need maxilla surgery. Like, all this nonsense, man. Yeah, honestly, I'm getting riled up just talking about it. But like, trust me, this is all toxic nonsense. You, at least in my experience, you don't need to be in some perfect place or perfect. Now I look like an absolute Chad, bro, and now I can go enjoy life. Like, no, right? Again, do the important shit. Don't judge yourself so harshly. You'll slip up. You'll make mistakes. That's human. That's very normal, right? I've gone on the self-improvement journey. I've been on this for the past 5+ years, and I've messed up time and time again. I've still achieved my goals, right? Still achieve my goals. So you're human. You'll mess up. I'm not trying to say don't work hard, don't be consistent. Both those things extremely important, but we also need to recognize the human aspect of it, right? We recognize that we're not perfect. We recognize that we will mess up. We will slip up, right? There's no reason to destroy one part of our brain, and when you slip up, feeling all this guilt and all this nonsense, right? Again, put in the work day in, day out, focusing on the high impact shit. You fall down, dust yourself off, get back up. Don't wait for any perfect moments, right? Put yourself out there now. Like, I know, just one more point I'll make is, I know, especially in self-improvement, what are a lot of guys trying to do? At least what was I trying to do? And maybe it's what you were trying to do as well, is improve our dating lives. That's literally the only reason I got into self-improvement. And now it's so clear to me. I wish I'd seen it before. And it sounds like common sense when I'll say it, but I'll just go out and say it. If you want to improve your dating life, instead of watching like 10 million videos and all these courses and all these, these other YouTubers will tell you, oh, you got to be top 5% man, buy my course on how to, like, no, just go out and just start talking to people. Like, to a certain extent, it really is that simple. Now, I get it's scary. I get it's difficult. Rejection sucks. I'm not going to deny that. I still, it stings every time I get rejected, right? Rejection's definitely a part of the process. It's definitely a part of the process, right? But if you go out enough, you put yourself out there enough, you do that day in, day out. Hell, you do that for like even 2 to 3 months. Trust me, you'll have a great dating life. You have a great dating life. There'll still be other kinks to work out. So I'm kind of oversimplifying it. Of course, as you get into relationships, some will be great, some will not. You'll learn a lot about yourself, etc., of course. But doing that just for 2 to 3 months will you'll make light years more progress than listening to any of this other nonsense that I've touched on. Right, that's the only point I'm trying to make there. So that was a bit of a rant, but hopefully some of that stuff made sense, right? Let me know if you want me to elaborate on that. I'm more than happy to. But I'll just end this video off by saying, truly be kind to yourself throughout the self-improvement process, right? Look, I've talked about my background. I've been doing this for 5+ years, and for so much of it, I'd mess up a little bit, and I'd get caught in these negative thought cycles, guilt cycles, right? I would overthink like every little thing. I just have a problem with overthinking, right? I've talked about my struggles with like anxiety, insecurity. I'm open about all of that on this channel, right? Even to say I was eating food, right? I'd overthink the fuck out of that too. Like I drink milk, I'd be like, oh, is this healthy? Is this not healthy? Is this good for my macros? Is this gonna help me get aesthetic, bro? Like, just overthinking every little thing, and even feeling guilty for like fucking drinking milk sometimes. Oh, this has sugar, like, so it really, I hope that I can pass this on. Again, I'm not trying to say I know everything or anything like that, but this is just some of the shit I've learned. I'm hoping I can pass this on. Truly be kind to yourself throughout this process. As long as you're hitting the impactful shit, the important things, you're hitting it consistently enough, you're working hard, you're putting one foot in front of the other, you're doing the hard work day in, day out, day in, day out. I am absolutely confident you'll be successful, right? So keep it positive. Again, keep it moving forward. No reason to feel all this guilt and get caught in these negative thought cycles, all this nonsense. At the very least, truly, if you can relate to this and you've seen that these negative thought cycles and guilt cycles have done nothing for you, at the very least, just stay neutral to it, right? If staying positive to it is difficult, or if because the old me would listen to all this positive shit and be like, oh, what a load of nonsense. And like, fair enough, if you think like that. I'm not trying to push your mind one way or the other, right? But just try staying neutral to it maybe, and see if that makes you feel better, right? Compared to the negative nonsense, right? But just be proud of yourself. Every single day you show up. A lot of people will start the self-improvement shit, whether it's fitness, career, whatever it may be. But not a lot will see it through till the end, right? You and I, we keep pushing forward, we keep working hard, and we get the reward, right? Now I just want you to imagine for a second. Imagine you take this advice, you run with it, right? And your dating life is improving day by day by day. Right. I want you to imagine that your career is improving day by day by day, because again, now you're not waiting for some form of perfection to hit like, I don't know, nofap streak 2000, journaling streak 1000 before you start improving that stuff. Right. You mess up a little, you brush it off, and you keep on, again, doing the impactful thing for your career, and your career side is going great, and you're making money day by day. Right. And most importantly, because you don't beat yourself up over every little thing, because you don't expect some ridiculous standard of perfection of yourself, your confidence in yourself is improved day by day by day, and your self-esteem grows daily. Imagine that. And that's the path you're on. Hey, keep working hard. I believe in you, but what I believe doesn't matter. What you believe matters. So I hope you believe in yourself too. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Ultimately, I want this to be our positive little community where we help each other, support each other, and help each other get to the next level in life. So please come join the community. I'll leave my Instagram, TikTok in the description, also somewhere here. Please do support there as well. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Just to be transparent with what I'm trying to do here, I would love to take this YouTube thing on full time, hire an editor. So it's not just me yelling at a mic for, how long has it been? Like 14 minutes, right? And start making some money from this. So please like, comment, subscribe, support. All that support will help make my dream a reality. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.